In this video, I'm going to briefly discuss how to pass data across functions. Basically, an argument is any piece of data that's passed into a function when the function is called for, and within this context, a parameter is the variable that receives an argument that's passed into a function. And sometimes it's useful not only to call a function, but also send one or more two pieces of data into another function. So these pieces of data are usually called arguments. And if you want a function to receive an argument when it's called, you must have one or more parameter variables. And a parameter variable is basically the local variable that the argument can, the new function can use and reference to. Let's just go through some examples. And the scope of this is going to be the function which the parameter is being used. This is an example of a function. Imagine we have defined a simple function. I called the function A. We have three variables called name, country, and city, and I gave three values into these variables. And next, I'm returning each of these values. And then what I'm going to do is that in the next function, I'm going to use three new variable names in order to store the return values from function A into function B, and then I'm going to print it. So let's see how that would work in Jupyter Notebook. So here again, we have defined function. So let's just call function A. So when I'm calling function A, there's going to be three values that are going to be printed, right? So these values. Now in function B, I'm receiving Joseph, Mars, and Atlantis in the same order that it says, and I'm rewriting that information into three variables. And so note that the order of the values and the way you're assigning them to variable matters, right? So now name Joseph should be assigned to my country, and I'll pause this, turn it into a comment, and then Mars should be assigned to my country, and city Atlantis, my city should be now turned into Atlantis. And now printing each of these values. So let's see if we can get it. So we have Joseph, Mars, and Atlantis as new variables. Another example would be, let's say we have a main function, and this main function uses another function, the value that coming from another function called show double. Now what it does when we're calling main, we have a value. We're using that value in order to retrieve some statements from this function called show double. So what does the show double do? We'll basically multiply the number by 2, and it will store that into a result. You can also do return result if you want that. And now when that value worked, so now value is 5, it's going to go through this, it's going to be multiplied, and the outcome of main function should be now printing a 10 statement. So let's, if I had a print behind this, I should be able to see the value that I'm looking for. So the value is now turned into 10.